Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of math with Union Mills 4th grade. We're going to be looking today at multiplication, and we're going to be looking specifically with our practice point set 16, page 3. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So first we need to remember that the word product means multiplication, the answer to a multiplication problem. So this is a little bit easier on these types of problems because you'll notice it also gives you that time sign right there in the problem. But even if that were not there, you would know that you need to multiply because of the fact that it says to find the product. So when I multiply multi-digit numbers, I go ahead and stack this up and line it up appropriately. So I have 289 times 4, which goes over in my ones column. Since this is only a single digit number I'm multiplying by, all I do is I multiply to the ones column first, then the tens column, then the hundreds column, and I'm going to get my answer right here on one line. So 4 times 9 is 36. I bring that 6 down, and I carry the 3, just like I would do in addition. Excuse me. 4 times 8 is 32, plus another 3. I need to add that to it. So 32 plus 3 gives me 35. Again, I put the 5 down and I carry the 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus that 3 gives me 11. So my final answer, I'm going to add in my comma, my final answer is 1,156. Now I'm going to find the product of this next problem down here. There's a couple different ways that we can do this. And we've learned about both the standard algorithm, where we just multiply and follow those steps and procedures. And we've also learned about partial product. And when we do that is we break apart the numbers and we actually end up solving 4 different problems and adding them all together. Let's do the simple algorithm first, and then I'll go into the partial product example as well. So for the standard algorithm, I'm going to line this up just like I did before. It's great if you're able to cover that tens place in your number on the bottom, if you can. I know in class we've used Skittles, we've used different shapes of objects, we've used our finger to cover it up. Whatever works for you is really going to be helpful for you to remember what you're multiplying. I'm always going to multiply using my ones place first. So 3 times 8 is 24. I'm going to put my 4 and carry my 2. 3 times 7 is 21, plus another 2 is 23. I've used that up. So now when I go on to my tens digit, I need to do a couple things. Okay? We actually have 3 things we need to do. We need to cross off anything that we had up here because we're not going to be adding that this time. We're going to have a whole new set of numbers to look at. I can go ahead and mark out my ones place because I did that already. And I need to put a 0 down in my answer for the next line down. And the reason for that is we're moving into our tens place, so we're not going to have anything in our ones place. It's going to be a 0. So now I start again, and I do 2 times 8. 2 times 8 is 16, so I'm going to put the 6 down here, and now I'm going to put a 1 up here, which is why I wanted to get rid of whatever other number was there from before. Then I'm going to do 2 times 7 and get 14, plus 1 is 15. I'm going to keep my numbers lined up because then I'm going to have to add those 2 together to get my final answer. 4 plus 0 is 4, 3 plus 6 is 9, 2 plus 5 is 7, and 1 comes on down. So the answer I got using the standard algorithm was 1,794. If I was going to break this into its parts and do partial products, I would draw my grid out, which really is like a window pane. I would take each of my numbers and I would expand them. So this really is 70 and 8. So I'm going to put 70 and 8. For this number, it's really 20 and 3. So I'm going to put going down 20 and 3. Now remember, whatever box you're in, you're really multiplying whatever numbers line up there. Okay, so let's start right here. The 2 numbers that line up, I look up, it's 70. I look across, it's 20. I can box my facts, and 7 times 2 is 14, and I add 2 zeros. Now for this one, I'm going to look up, and I have 8. I'm going to look over, and I have 20. 20 times 8. Again, I can box my facts. 2 times 8 is 16, and add that 0. Again, for this box, I look up, it's 70. I look over, it's 3. When I box my facts, I see that 7 times 3 is 21, and I add that 0. Last but not least, this box is going to be 8 and 3 multiplied together. 8 times 3 equals 24. Now what's my last step? I add all of these up. I like to start with the biggest number so that I can work on lining them up correctly. So there are all of my answers which I got from each of my 4 boxes. Now when I add 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 gives me 4. 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9. 4 plus 1 plus 2 is 7. 1 comes down. The answers are exactly the same. So no matter which way you did it, you should get the same answer of 1,794. Let's take a look at number 3. It's another 2-digit by 2-digit problem. I'm going to solve it the standard algorithm way. 47 times 35. Remember, I want to look only at my 1 digit first. So I'm going to cover it up with my finger. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus another 3 gives me 23. Okay, remember our housekeeping, our 3 things we need to do. Get rid of whatever I had up above when I was doing my original problem. Go ahead and get rid of my 1's place because I finished it. And put a 0 down here because I'm really starting in the 10's place. So there is nothing in the 1's. All right, let's start over. 3 times 7 is 21. Put a 2 up above. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus another 2 is 14. Now I'm going to add these together. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 1 comes down. My answer for the product of 47 times 35 is 1,645. If you choose to do this with the partial product, you will get the exact same answer using the steps we did up here. All right, and last but not least, find the product of 287 times 6. This is a 3-digit by 1-digit, so I'm just going to do my standard algorithm because I only have to multiply each number 1 time. 287 times 6. Okay, 6 times 7 is 42. Put the 2, carry the 4. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 4 more, that gives me 52. I'm going to carry the 5 this time. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 more is 17. My answer for 287 times 6 is 1,722. Great job, you guys, and I hope this made sense and helped you guys learn a little bit more about multiplication. Feel free to ask your teacher if you still have questions.